I have done things like moving cross country twice without having a job, and I've also gone to a practical college but majored in American Studies, which gave me a great education but let me kind of fend for myself as I took lots of poetry workshops. But today I'm going to talk about having cats. Yes, cats are really important, and my current cat bounces off the walls just like Teresa wants to do, although indoors. And recently broke a fair number of teapots, knocked pictures off the walls, and destroyed most of my China cat collection. Not the one that you guys gave me. I put that one inside a case. So I'm going to read a couple of cat poems really quickly. And what happens is that you realize when your cat destroys like almost everything you own that you really own too much. And so that's the net. And there's also this thing, I write free verse most of the time, but there's this thing about writing free verse is that it's with the net down. And so I'm going to read 2 haikus because they actually have a form. Okay, there we go. Finicky human, you don't listen to my words. Here is a goldfish. Cats are so edgy. I bet the Ramones had cats. Do you want to dance? And that's going to be it. Thank you.
Louise Richardson.
Looking back, I guess I've really been lucky all my life. I was born a month premature. I don't know what, when I was 5 or 6 years old, I know that my parents rushed me to some hospital in Houston, or maybe we were on vacation in Galveston, but it was like the coldest day ever in Galveston. It was freezing. I remember very little of that. I got through school. I was a C minus student. Somehow I got into college, and somehow I got through college in Southwest Texas in San Marcos. And then I decided to see a different part of the country, so I just drove across the country to San Francisco and lived there for about a year and a half, just, I don't know why, come to think of it. Nobody knows why. No. But I guess there's always been a net for me, and when I think about, other people who have done all these same things and they haven't survived, it's just amazing, and I'm really grateful for it. So, this is a poem called Fortunate. How fortunate I am, I cannot really know. To survive for all these years is as unlikely as my even being here. Prematurely I was born, and I joked that it stunted my growth. There were close calls in childhood, near misses, uncountable times since. Someday luck will run out, perhaps I'll take it in stride. But up to now, it's so far, so good.
Stephanie Johnson.
I want to thank Teresa for actually inviting me here. Yesterday was our photo shoot, and when she passed out her card and someone invited me, I thought, wow, what a perfect opportunity, because one of my passions is writing. Something that I've developed over the last several years. Can't tell, I had a speech impediment, somewhat maybe still have somewhat of a speech impediment. I'm definitely working without a net today, so I'm facing one of those fears. I was an instructor for my time on active duty in the Air Force. Once I retired, I became a ROTC instructor, and then I taught for about 12 years on the medical assistant field. Now, I am a trans female. I've come out recently, full-time. And so this is all our journey. One of the things that came up when I tried out for the play was that I drew a little piece of paper that said adventurous. Well, I guess that pretty much sums up my life. At the time that I retired, I had divorce papers, sir, 2 young kids. And over the course of about 13 years, I've had to write a lot of letters. Well, that letter writing started developing my passion. Of course, these letter writing has always been has to be very direct and has to be very correct as well. But as I started coming out, I started writing about my experiences. And I have collected over the last 4 to 5 years a nice little notebook about this thick. And it's, I'm writing on something right now that it's something that I feel like I really have to do. And my writing is more to trying to help others. Several years ago when I was in Lubbock, I went to a book signing and I asked, how do you start writing a book? Well, one very simple thing, follow your heart. And that's been basically what I've been doing, is writing and following my heart. Let me look at a note, because I did jot a few things down. One of the things that's helped me to really get more into writing is I took a professional writing course as part of a college degree program that I was in. Did pretty well in it. I earned a straight A and everything, and I had a very excellent professor. And I did my thesis on private colleges. It was about 45 pages, and she was really impressed. So all of my writing that I've done, I've been trying to share it with my experiences. I came out full-time last year at the VA, where I work, and it's about 38 pages. As I begin to get more into the club and learn more about this, I'm glad to share some of that writing with you. People that I have shared it with have all told me that I'm a good writer and that I have a very unique way of writing. So I kind of see, don't change anything, just keep writing the way that I am.
Nori, Hubert. I love your socks. I forgot to tell you. $4 at Walmart.
Okay, right? And I'll need to tell you. Fine without that. Okay, so going with our theme for the month, leaping, and the net will hopefully appear, but then it might not, in which case you might need to make your own net, which is what this poem is about. Oh, and it's called The Little Mermaid. My mother, the sea witch. Sorry. My mother, the sea witch, warned me never venture upwards. The world above the ocean world of abalone cathedrals and iridescent fishes was dangerous. Men would catch me in their nets, rough, coarse, trap, tear aquamarine scales from my fishtail, devour, mount me on the wall alongside previous catches. What she did not say, safety costs more than the chests filled with gold, tithed by sunken ships, sacrificed like stars spelled into the sea. The price, my voice. She kept it in a conch shell under her pillow, dreaming the voice she once traded to for pearls. But I grew bored with sea hymns when the sky called with its sun dances, electric fingers pounding drums during storms, birds calling up. I wove my own net of my hair, seaweed, abalone wrapped it about me like wings, carried me up above royal of waves, gate jaws of ships that cannot catch, flash of silver sequin scale, until I land like smooth worn sea glass, stood on wobbled legs, on shore. This is where I find my new voice.
So I actually written a small thing
I knew it.
on
I knew.
this topic. But I also was reminded, listening to some of the things that have gone before this evening, I was thinking about my children, about my one child who would do anything, climbing things, taking risks, while her brother stood next to her saying, "Be careful, don't go there, it's dangerous." And thinking about the fact that today, my daughter is a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, and my son is studying to be a financial planner to help people have safe futures. I love my kids. So here's my small thing that I had tentatively put together on this topic. Leap, and the net appears. But will there be a net? Will it be strong enough? Will it perhaps be only a sticky spider web? I'm an overthinker, not a worrier. I just like to think through all the possibilities before I settle down to enjoy myself. That's kind of a quote from Eeyore, by the way. I don't ask for certainty. I'm okay when the probabilities aren't good. Okay when they come with a margin of error. I remember watching a woman in a video. She asked her oncologist, "Has anyone with my prognosis ever gotten well?" "Actually, yes," he replied. "There was one case. That's all I need to know," she said. I know that improbable things happen every day. I believe in the improbable. I court the impossible, tweaking the definitions, proximate causes. But I don't buy lottery tickets. No, not even when it might result in winning over $1 billion. I'd just be giving my money to the winner. I'm not interested in lottery tickets. When I take a leap, it's because I've considered the consequences, considered the possibilities, weighed the probabilities, considered what could happen if I don't take the leap. And when I decide to leap, net be damned, let's do this.
David Lester Young.
Well, that's a little different for me, but let's go with it. Weep for more, thy Juliet. O Romeo, catch thy penis first net, vibrating a spell of Juliet love to find. When duets do weave, heat intertwine, Romeo and Juliet, sensual neural nets. Do spin your erotic roulette in loving position, finding a rouse rhythmic caress combination, stimulating tongues and leaps and bounds, the light alliteration, where you leap and the net public hairs do appear in love poetry. Thank you.
Chris Jones.
Well, this is a nice little Sunday surprise. I didn't know about this group until today. My friends Ted and Justin and I have a little blog we just started called The Leap Takers. We are all ex-attorneys who left Washington, D.C. to start a software company and try to create our own professional future. But that experience was really informed by something that happened to me years ago in South Africa. I went there to work a preliminary session. As luck would have it, I met a really nice girl. A girl who was a bit of a leap taker, and she wanted to go bungee jumping. South Africa is home to the biggest bungee jump in the world. And so I said, sure, let's go. And we get there, I see the bridge, and I say, there is no fucking way I'm gonna jump off this thing. And she said, just sleep it over, we're gonna do this tomorrow. So we did. We show up at the bridge in the morning, same thought, no fucking way this is happening. But I decided I'd just break this little thing into smaller chunks. I could buy a ticket, that's not scary. I could walk across the bridge, also not scary. 2 shots of tequila, not scary. And so finally I have the harness strapped in. I've seen some people jump. It's my turn. I kind of wobble up to the edge, and the guy says to me, "Don't worry, bro, you're in the safest place in South Africa. Thousands of people have jumped off this bridge and no one's ever died." I thought, why am I afraid of this? And I jumped. And it was the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. The amount of endorphins rushing through my head, I love dopamine, that was caressing as well. And since then I've realized that jumping's not actually that scary oftentimes. We build it up, but that fear is illusory. And if we can just kind of step out, yeah, the net's gonna appear, or the bungee's gonna pull us back up. So that's my story for today.
I have to confess, was I the only one who thought of, okay, it's not the jumping that's scary, it's the sudden stop? Anybody else?
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what I'm like, yeah, it's the impact. You're right. The jumping part is the fun part. It's the sudden stop that gets you. All right, let's see if I get this right. Nicole Corciato? All right, yes.
Can we turn off the video camera?
For,